Good morning, everybody. Out here at Uvis this morning. It's 40 degrees outside, definitely fall. We got here at 7:05 and we're gonna see what we can do, go into the opposite side of the cove that we've gone to the last few times. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you out there on the water. Alrighty, y'all. Here, sunrise, Uvis Reservoir. Last time we came was about a week ago, and man, things are different. It's really cold, way colder than it was before. There's no fog on the water. I think I did just see a fish pop out there, but last time we came it was foggy. There's a lot of topwater activity on this side of the cove, so we're trying this side of the cove today. I think I just saw another topwater bust, so hopefully there's still some stuff going on here, you know. I was reading that shad sometimes have a second spawn in the fall, and I think that's what was going on. Chances are it's probably not as active now, but we'll see. We'll see. I think we might be a little better off actually to go over there to that ramp maybe than this one. Can we go up this thing? I think we can. Have to be careful going up this. What the hell? Slidey gravel and sheesh. Hey, there's a fish. Here's a fish, there's a fish. Everywhere a fish. Okay, let's try over here. Alright, I think we're gonna start with the jerkbait. Just seems like one of those things that might make a little more sense. Not entirely sure, but you gotta try. I don't think top water is a thing right now that it's going off too crazy. All right, let's see if this side produces anything more than that side. So we caught fish over there previously. Yeah, I'm thinking these fish probably down lower. Alright, we are switching pretty quickly actually to the drop shot. Okay, gonna switch it up to a robo worm. 4-inch straight tail robo worm. Got one. Small guy, still a fish. Hey bro, no skunk. No skunk means I'm happy. Okay, first fish of the day. Little dinky boy, but we'll take it. It's more than no fish. Let's try that again. See if we can't get one a little bigger than that. All right, last cast in this spot before we try somewhere different. Try the jerkbait, maybe 2 casts then we're going to that point down there, because maybe they're more off points than in coves. All right, we'll see when we get to the next spot. Walking up here to this next spot, we just saw a fish jump right off the point that we're going to. So, you know, maybe it's a good sign, I don't know. Could have just been a carp, but hoping. Never wrong to have hope. And if you don't try new things, new places, then chance you'll never find anything, you know? Let's see. Oh, we'll go around instead of over. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna go to the non-gravelly stuff. Oh, less gravelly. Going up this stuff is always easier than going down. Going down is always kind of a pain, just because, you know, that downward slope is just a little, it's easier to slip when you're at a place like this. Slipping is not what you really want to do. What do we start with also? Say we start with the deep crank. Start over there and cast our way around this point. Okay, let's try and drag along this point as much as we can, see if there's anything on it. I feel like it's gonna be a thing that we can do all the way around. There we go. Shoo! A first good Uvis bass. Figured that the crank would be the trick. Guess what? It was. Shoot. I put all my other rods on the ground because I put my backpack upside down, and of course the pliers are in the front pocket. There we go. There we go. Look at that belly. That's a fall bass. 2.38. We will take it. Happily take this. Let's get a picture with you and then I'll get you back real quick. Okay. Thank goodness. We're recording, right? Yes, sir. Got this bass, Uvis Reservoir. First bass over a pound, and we landed him. Let's make sure we get a healthy release on him. There he goes. Sweet. All right, so let's talk about it. How I like to fish the deep diver from the bank at a reservoir. So right here, what we have is a 5XD KVD deep crank. And the way that I like to fish this is I'll find a point. So if I'm at a reservoir, you know, there's all the banks, steep banks. You can fish it along those steep banks if there's rocks and, you know, catch fish. But a higher percentage area for the deep crank is on a point. So what we have right here is a long extended peninsula out from that parking lot. So we have steep edges, steep edges, steep edges, a hump, a drop, and then the tapering point over here. So what I'll do is I'll take this deep crank, and ideally what I like to do is hit as many humps as possible. So having gone around this point, there's only one spot with like 2 humps next to each other, and it's right here. So I'll drag it, I'll feel the bottom, I'll go slow, and then I'll hit something and I'll stop and let it float. Let it go down into this little divot, and then it comes back up over this hump and then down on the other side. So a lot of the times the bass will be on either side of one of these humps, and once that crankbait goes up, floats, down, floats, they'll hit it on that pause, but a lot of the time they'll be on the other side of a hump. So that's one way that I like to do it. The nice thing about a point is I can keep casting left, left, and then out into deep water, up over a hump, and then over the tapering point. So doing that, what you get is like a bait fish running from deep to shallow back to deep. And a lot of the times those bass will be right before the shallow or right after the shallow. Another nice thing about the point is that I can fish these humps right here. And also, all the sides of the point, you know how I was saying on the bank, you have those steep drops. Well, you have that on the point too. So out that way, I have some steep drops where I can fish relatively deep, also near the bank, because sometimes the bass will be chasing bait fish on these edges. But like I was saying too, like got these humps, got those edges, then we have the front of the point. And the front of the point, you can cast straight out from deep to shallow, like so. I'm just burning it back, but normally I'd go at like more of a this pace, and then I'd feel it and I'd stop, reel, hit something, stop, reel, hit something, stop, reel, hit something, stop, reel, hit something, stop, like that. Because a lot of the times the fish will react to the crank hitting a rock or some wood and then floating up, like a bait fish running and then running into an obstacle. Another thing to keep in mind is if there is grass that you run into, every time you reel in, you want to take the grass off the hooks, because fish generally don't swim around covered in grass. They generally swim through grass. So that's a parallel to the point cast. So what I'm doing is I'm just dragging it along. So the point is like slow and tapering like this, and that bait is coming back along there like that. So it looks like a shad maybe from the other side trying to run over to this side to get over to that deep water or that ledge. When you're walking around the point, you know, you can fan cast, and you can also cast back in the direction you came, because sometimes the fish will be facing a different direction and they'll only hit the lure if it looks like the bait fish is swimming in a certain way. But yeah, well, I just like to walk the point, cast. You know, you can cover the point several times, but if you're stuck to the bank and you have a really large body of water to cover, you know, like this reservoir is giant, no way I can walk a circle around it. You want to target higher percentage areas. So now we're at the tip of the point, got wind coming in both directions here, and you can do a straight out cast like that, and then you'll reel it straight back in like a bait fish from the center of the reservoir coming up. And you know, when they get up here, if they're a real fish, they'll decide go left or right, but sometimes the bass will be looking that way and they'll see this bait fish coming in and they'll attack it. Now, color of your crank, it's gonna depend. Obviously, whenever I fish, I try and match the hatch. Here, it's mostly shad, and I think shiners that they're not shiners, but some little silver minnow things that I've seen that they're feeding on. But I'm using a red crankbait. So why am I using a red crankbait and not a shad colored one? Shad colored one, you probably catch some, and some days you'll catch more. The reason I'm using red right now is we have a bright sun, and this water here is muddy and silty. Only like 2, maybe 3 feet max of visibility. And red really stands out in this like muddy colored water. It's a good option. And also the craws right now that I've seen in all the bodies of water I've been to in the past couple weeks have been a red and black color. So it still looks like something that they eat, you know, color wise. It stands out. You can cover water with it. And you know, oftentimes when you do get a bite, it'll be a good one. I hope that this little bit helped you out if you're not pond fishing and not small lake fishing, and pretty much what you have to deal with is large reservoirs. I would say targeting high percentage areas is the way to go, you know. Come into places like this on foot, you might have a 1 fish day, and if you do, then the way I like to do it is if I know that it's possibility that it's going to be a 1 fish day, I try and make that fish count. So yeah, hope that helped somebody out there. If you're at a reservoir and you catch a big one on a deep crank, let me know. Post in the comments below if you'd like some more videos like this, and yeah, see you in the outro. All right, y'all, that's gonna wrap it up for the day. We went out here, Uvis Reservoir. The bite that we got today was that deep diving crank. I hope that a little bit of that explaining of why I was using it, where I was using it, and why I was using that color might help you out in the future if you decide to go to a reservoir and you want to throw a deep diver. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.